Okay. Brains are weird. Brains do one of two things when it comes to phobias and fears and stuff. They will tell you you're scared of something or that you're actually afraid of it. When you're scared of it, they will give you a reason to try and overcome that fear rather than being afraid of it when that's it, cut dry, no go back, none at all. So there is the most common one, fear of heights. Most common one, it's called agoraphobia. That is a fear of heights. So if somebody is actually afraid of heights and actually has a fear of heights, they have agoraphobia. Cut and dried, no ifs, no buts, no babies, no going back. Fear of heights, you have agoraphobia. If you are still scared of heights and just afraid and just scared of heights, that's it. You're scared of heights, you have vertigo. It is the most common one. So many people say it, so many people do it. I have vertigo. And what they mean is, I'm scared of heights. Vertigo is a medical condition, first and foremost. Has nothing to do with heights whatsoever. It's a medical condition which consists of dizziness, sickness, and lack of peripheral vision. You just do not know where you're, complete disorientation. You have no idea where you are whatsoever. Usually it leaves you huddled on the floor in a corner somewhere trying to stop the world from spinning while you're crying. Trust me, it's not nice, and it can last for days. It's not nice at all. Really not. Right? My mum, my aunt and me all have it. It's very horrible. I don't like it at all. Right? On its good days, I can stand up and just be really dizzy. I mean, I'm pretty much dizzy the entire time. I don't stop being dizzy. Vertigo is never ending, but on its worst days, I'm huddled on a corner, not moving. Right? But I'm pretty much dizzy 24/7. Vertigo is horrible. But they use it to describe being scared of heights. And when you're scared of a fear, when it's something you're scared of, you can work through it and go, I'm scared of this, I'm going to try and overcome my fear because I'm scared of it. And your brain will allow it because it's not afraid of it yet, you're just scared of it. You know, and it will bring on anxiety and panic and, you know, and you'll try and get through it and you'll be okay, but you don't tell people you're afraid of it, you tell people you're scared because your brain hasn't made that connection yet and switched over from fear to from scared, something you're scared of to something you're afraid of. You know, and there are so many fears in this world. So many people are afraid of so many different things, whether rational or irrational. You know, it's like fear of things flying at you. It's called entophobia. And things of bugs crawling on you, which is entomorphia, which is a very strange one. You know, and my very favourite one is I have chlorophobia. I have chlorophobia. It's horrible. I do not understand how people can actually like clowns. Clowns are scary. Clowns are horrible. Clowns are creepy. Clowns, there is nothing nice about clowns. Anyone says there is something nice about a clown is wrong. They really are. See, right back in the day, they were called jesters, right? Right back in history, they were called jesters. And in the Jesters Guild, they were assassins. All of them. Their job was to kill people. They would pretend to be all nicey, 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 and then they'd kill you. Right up to present day, when there is still a Jesters Guild around, and the clowns are horrible. Every film, every TV programme that there is a clown in it is a killer. Or mean, or nasty, or it pickpockets, or it's horrible, or it's a criminal of some kind. There is never, ever, ever a nice clown anywhere. Right up until the real world, where you have people dressing up as clowns to look in people's windows and be all creepy and mean and nasty. There is no such thing as a nice clown. Oh God, clowns are horrible. I hate clowns. Oh my God. Okay, and breathe. Chlorophobia is real. Fear of clowns is very real. And I have it. No, me and clowns do not work. Anyway. Breathe. Right, anyway. As you can guess, I am actually afraid of clowns. I have claustrophobia. And there are so many fears in the world, and one of the most obvious ones is agoraphobia, which is a fear of the outdoors. It's one of the most severe ones, but it doesn't start. You don't start off being afraid of the outdoors. No human being does. So it's triggered by something. It's usually triggered by a traumatic event where something happens and you start feeling very anxious outside. For whatever reason, the outside starts feeling very unsafe for you, and you get very anxious and you start having panic attacks, where the only place you don't have them is indoors. So going outside gets harder and harder and harder, and unless you've got people in your life that are able to help you through all that and help you get the help you need so that you don't end up stuck, that fear gets stronger. It gets stronger till your brain stops being scared of the outside and you stop having the anxiety and the panic attacks in your brain, and it gets so strong that you actually become afraid of the outside. There have been people who have managed to get through that and become capable of being outside, and not so that they don't get stuck being agoraphobic. I'm never going to get that right. Where that fear doesn't kick in. I have crippling anxiety. There are days when my anxiety really does cripple me sometimes, and I have panic attacks when I have to go out. But because I have a good support network around me, when that happens, I have people I can turn to, and they help me through that. So I don't get stuck in that cycle, because my anxiety can get the better of me. I'm still struggling a lot with the concept of leaving my hometown and the concept that I've got to move halfway across the freaking country so that my son can go to university. That one's going to be the test and a half, because I haven't done that in a while. But that one's going to be hard. Considering I haven't even left my hometown in like a year. Well, not since my last hospital appointment. Yeah, it's hard work. But I get there. I will get there. But it scares the living daylights out of me. But it's not easy. But as long as we have the support network, you don't become stuck. Those that don't have enough of those people pushing end up being stuck in a cycle where they end up becoming afraid to go outside, where the trauma just gets on top of them and the outside just becomes unsafe for them. Even those that have the support can end up feeling so overwhelmed that the outside just stops being a safe place. So they get stuck, and eventually the fear kicks in and they become agoraphobic. But they will never tell people that they are anxious or they have panic attacks or they feel unsafe outside. They will tell people that they are agoraphobic. And they will forget, and sometimes they don't always remember why. Because if there's a trauma behind it, the brain will shut it out after a while. It's very strange how the brain works, but it will try to sort of help you as much as possible by shutting out traumas and just leaving you with the overwhelming feeling that something's very, very wrong, and keep you feeling safe. Which doesn't help you sometimes, because it leaves you very, very stuck in a cycle. So people who are agoraphobic tend to be stuck indoors purely because there's something that triggered this feeling of being unsafe in the outside world. And when that happened, either the support they have around them was either too overwhelming for them to get through it, or wasn't enough for them to get through it. So the brain kicked into gear and kept them safe indoors forever, and made the outside world just far too unsafe for them. And it switched. It's no longer safe. It went from, it's unsafe, but we'll have a panic attack every time we go out, and we'll get through it, we'll try it, let's be scared and let's go, to it's unsafe and we're afraid. And once it did that and clicked over to it's unsafe and we're afraid, we're going to stay here because it's safe, it stopped, it was over. And it does that with every fear. It goes from, it's unsafe, but we're going to try because we're scared. So it gives you a reason to keep going, whether you're having panic attacks and anxiety while you're doing it, or like with heights, you keep having the symptoms of vertigo while you do it, but you're scared, so you keep going because the brain is telling you can still do this. There is still a reason to keep going because you're scared, but I'm going to give you a reason to keep going and keep trying. Maybe we can get through this. Till it gets to a point where it goes, nope, I'm done, backtrack, we're over, I'm scared now, I'm over, we're fear, click, I'm afraid, done, over. And the fear will kick in and you will no longer even bother trying to stop it, no longer try to address it, you'll no longer even try to make it better, or overcome it in any way, shape or form. All the while you're still scared of something, you'll keep trying to overcome it. The second your brain tells you you're afraid of it, you will no longer even try because that fear will stop you. Now, there are cases in which, if through therapy or psychotherapy or hypnosis or various other forms of counselling or whatever, people have actually managed to get over fears. It's happened, we've seen it, it's incredible really, especially the most severe ones. It's taken many years, lots of help, but it can happen. But the reality is, many people who suffer very crippling fears generally don't get the help they need quick enough to stop it. And it is unfortunate really, but to help you understand that it's not a fear all the while people are telling you they're having anxiety when they do this thing gives them anxiety and panic attacks, or I get this when I do that, this makes me feel scared, this makes me feel like this. You can still help them. You can still help them get through it, help them get over it, find ways to help them overcome whatever it is they're dealing with, because the brain is still trying to help them. The brain is scared. That's why they're having anxiety, panic or disorientation, why they're feeling the signs of vertigo, because their brain still wants to overcome it. So it's pushing them because it's scared, but it's not afraid yet. Because as soon as it's afraid, they will stop trying. I feel like I'm going around in circles a bit, but yeah, it is basically very, very easy to see a difference between someone who is scared of something and afraid of something. Because while they're scared of it, there is still a way to help them. Can't usually help them because, there's usually a reason why they're afraid of it, but sometimes you can. If they're silly little fears, it's not usually a big deal, but the bigger ones, sometimes if you talk to them and try to sort of support them a bit, it can help them get through it a bit. I don't know, there's always a way to get through to them. Sometimes all they need is a little bit more support, to help them through something that they're scared of, rather than accept the fact that they've just scared of it before they become afraid of it. But, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go because I'm repeating myself. Bye.